Say something.
Hello.
Say something.
I'm nervous.
You're nervous?
A little bit.
Have we ever podcasted in person before?
No.
Okay.
For
you
sure
watched
not.
me podcast in person?
No.
No.
I thought you went to a live taping. Of
Yeah,
John
you're
Chi.
right. You're right.
Yeah,
I
in
lied.
LA.
Okay, I'm
The
glad that
very
I
first one.
remember Katie's life better than she does.
The very first time I ever podcasted, you were there.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Yeah, just however you want to do your intro the way I told you to do it.
Okay.
You just say, hi, I'm Katie, and then you can let Laura
Yeah.
take it from there.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Hi, I'm Laura.
And what are you drinking?
I am drinking a hot chai latte.
Katie's drinking a cold chai latte.
Super original.
Okay, so people who are listening right now, we are normally at my kitchen table. Unfortunately, Van got a little sick today, and we had to keep him home from school. So we are at my favorite secondary recording location at North Mass Boulder, not too far from my house. And that is why we are drinking our coffees right now, because we're at Top Out Cafe. You were very quick, Laura, with your tea order. Is that like a normal go-to situation for you?
It is. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm either a golden latte person or a chai latte person after 1 p.m. because if I want to sleep, I'm keeping the caffeine on the somewhat mid to low level.
What is a golden latte?
It's the one with it's like chai but turmeric based.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Turmeric based.
Mm-hmm.
So you have masala? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's spicy AF.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is it normally spicy?
No.
Okay.
No. They kicked the ginger up to like 12 in this one. It's
Do people like make their own teas generally, or you source that out from somewhere?
I think chai specifically is like very proprietary, where
Sure.
people have like their own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Well, it's like culturally proprietary, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We just culturally appropriate it.
Totally. But I mean, I think
I'm okay with that.
I think it's normal for.
Canceled immediately. You were saying?
No. I think it's normal for cafes to like have their own blend of chais.
Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense. That makes sense. Katie took a second to decide what she was going to get, and then just kind of
You don't have to ask me anything about my drink.
followed up on the
Please
on,
don't.
on the tea drink. What do you what would you normally go for just on a like I'm going to get something to drink? What would you normally?
I drink a Diet Mountain Dew
Diet
every
Mountain Dew.
single
Okay.
day.
Okay,
Real
just
talk.
Sometimes a couple.
You were shaking your head like 5 or 7. 5
Yeah.
to 7 shakes.
Okay,
Well,
when Katie came to visit me,
Yeah.
I just told her this today. So I asked her, I was like, we're gonna go stop by the store. Is there anything that you want to get?
Yeah.
And she was like, I need Mountain Dew. And I was like, that's super random, but okay, let's do it. And you got a 12 pack. 'Cause I think that's all they had was the 12 like,
Probably.
case.
Sure.
And that Mountain Dew, after she left, sat in my fridge for a solid year. Nothing happening to
Like,
it.
was it the Diet Mountain Dew though, or was it regular Mountain Dew?
I
No,
feel like
it
was
has to be diet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much caffeine in the regular?
No.
Or is it
It's
sugar?
just
The sugar.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
sugar. That
Sugar.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Has
Diet Mountain Dew for probably a decade.
So you've always been doing the Dew, or did you like the different kinds of soda? prior?
No, just Diet Mountain Dew.
Just the Diet
I
Mountain
love.
Dew.
I mean, I love Coke Zero. I love any kind. Well, I mean, I can only have any kind of zero or no sugar drink anyway.
Sure.
But Diet Mountain Dew, I just like the citrus of it. Actually,
Mhm.
Okay.
I know it's
Mhm.
something weird. Yeah.
And the caffeine, right?
No, actually, the caffeine makes me tired.
Oh my
So like, I don't drink it to be like awake or anything.
Wow, okay.
I-
Just for the citrusy taste.
yeah. Just
Because
for the taste.
Because you need it at that time. Well, no, because you have to drink it once a day.
I mean, at least once a day. I
At
have
least
it.
once a day.
I'm gonna have so much judgment over this. I feel like
I don't
No
think so.
way. No way.
you don't think so.
People drink what they drink.
No, not about my Diet Mountain
Uh-oh, here
Dew.
we
I
go.
drink it with
Maybe a little.
I drink it with a a peanut butter sandwich every single morning for breakfast.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we gotta put a hard break on that.
Yeah. I mean, I
Which-
get it, but that's where I'm at.
Luna ate half of this morning. 'cause you
Sometimes
dropped it on the
I
floor.
did. I did. I dropped the best bite of peanut butter on the ground.
What's the best bite of peanut butter look like?
You know,
The
it's
middle.
like it doesn't have the crust on it.
Mhm.
You've already chewed off the crust.
So you eat your
So-
sandwiches in circular motion. Is that what I just heard?
Yeah.
This has become a
Well,
psychological analysis.
I probably am 10 years old. It's fine. It's fine. And then, so there's no crust and there's like a chunk of peanut butter just waiting to be devoured.
Mm.
And so I tore it off and I was right about to hit my lips and then I dropped it. And then Luna saw the opportunity.
She
Did
took
you get
it.
startled by something? What
No,
caused you to
no.
drop
Me.
it?
It was probably me.
No,
let's be
Patrick.
honest.
Let's
just
be
dropped it.
honest.
Uh-huh.
Like,
No, I swatted it out of her hand.
come on. Come on now.
Just kidding.
Do
What
you
time is
see how
breakfast?
slow I move? There's no way anything would startle me to
I don't
drop
comment
that
on people's
piece.
movements, on the way they look or act or do. I don't see anything. I don't not see color.
You
I don't
ju-
see anything at all.
Yeah, right.
Are you actually
right.
colorblind?
No.
Okay. You can see that. You know, it's a thing.
No,
Thing.
no.
Okay, what time is breakfast?
Typically, like between 7:30.
It's an early diet Mountain Dew.
Also,
No
this
judgment.
This is the other
Maybe a little.
judgment that I'm sure I will get. Sometimes I eat pepperonis with the peanut butter sandwich as a side.
And the Diet Mountain Dew?
Yeah.
Time out.
Yeah.
The pepperoni is the side.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it's a little
It's a little
bowl of chips.
It's a little side.
You are a secret college boy inside.
That
I don't think I've ever publicly said it on any platform, but this is what I have every single morning.
What's with the pepperoni?
Protein?
I love
It is a protein.
I love
That's all.
pepperoni.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get that.
It's a double. It's
Yeah.
a double protein. So I'm having peanut butter as a protein, and as like a little sugar boost.
Sure.
And then the carbs, which like the peanut butter sandwich never sends me over the edge because
Yeah.
I have diabetes. And then the pepperoni offsets the carbs that I eat with the 2 slices of bread.
Okay.
Keeps
With
you
the
You've got the
protein?
science down.
Oh yeah.
does.
So I know that like if I eat all of this and I drink my Diet Mountain Dew, then I'll have a fine morning.
Okay,
Yeah.
and to be
With
fair,
blood
it's
sugar.
not that different from like breakfast sausage, right?
Great point.
So
That's a great point.
You know.
Valid.
Smooth or crunchy peanut butter?
Oh,
It was
I actually
honey.
don't have a preference, but I do like crunchy.
Oh, I love crunchy.
Yeah.
Extra crunchy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you do buy what smooth or crunchy?
Okay, if I'm this is texture stuff for me. If I'm eating a sandwich and it
Okay.
needs to be smooth, but if I'm eating it on something like apples or something, it has to be crunchy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Well,
I
because
don't
the
know.
crunch feels like an extra carb, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
something.
Kind of.
It's a nut.
It's a nut.
It's a protein.
Yeah, it's a nut.
How did we get here?
We got here because we were talking about what you like to drink,
Yeah.
and
Then there
yeah.
was a lot of judgment happening.
not a lot of judgment. I think just a lot of friendship.
That's right. That's
I
right.
think for people who don't know us, they don't know that we've known each other. Each of us have known each other for about almost 5 years now, at least.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
First time I'm meeting you in person,
First
though.
time meeting Laura in person.
Yeah.
Katie and I have seen each other a handful of times. She's even come to Indy
Can we
once.
Really? Really?
I've come to Louisville once.
You have come to Louisville none. I've come to Indy multi.
Oh, that's right. You have come twice.
You are not gonna no. You need
Was
to
it only
up
once?
those fingers on your hand.
I only have 5.
Way more.
I can only do this.
It
many.
is absolutely
How many times?
more than 2.
Well, we've seen each other more than 2, but here in Indianapolis,
I've been here at least 4 times.
I'm not talking about in your life, but when
I
I'm
know. No, 4 times. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna walk out. I'm gonna walk out on
here.
this
My first
podcast.
walkout. My first walkout, and it's one of my good friends
There
too.
you go.
Incredible.
I
Of
know.
course.
How dare?
Of
How
course.
dare?
That's how good I am at my job.
Okay. No, I've seen you way more than 4 times, but
Yeah.
I've like been, we've hung out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how you
either.
differentiate
You're
it.
100% right. We've at least 3 now. I'm thinking
No.
I'm filling in more. It's probably going to get up to 5. It'll get up to a full
I've
hand.
known you for 5 years.
Yeah, but
I
I'm
came to
talking
your-
about just Indianapolis
came to
hangs
your
currently.
freaking wedding,
Oh,
man.
shit. Okay, 4 now.
So
I told you we're going to
many
get to 5.
times.
I told you we would get to
Oh
5.
my gosh.
First rumination. Do you remember the first time that we all kind of like had a conversation? I'm trying to think, and I can't 100% recall if it was like a Clubhouse thing or if it was like or if it was just like some random Instagram thing.
Maybe it was a Clubhouse thing, which if people don't remember Clubhouse, that was like kind of a flash, right? Like it wasn't around super long, I feel like.
I think it's still around and people
is.
use it. I
Okay.
don't use it.
I don't use
But
it.
I don't
every
either.
once in a while hear somebody say, "Oh yeah, I'm on Clubhouse." And I'm like,
Okay.
interesting.
Okay, well, you're like, that's still a thing? That's how I am with like Snapchat. I was like, I didn't even know that was
100%.
still a
Wait,
thing.
wait. Laura and I found each other much earlier than
Yes.
Oh,
Clubhouse,
so
though.
y'all
We
have
did.
known each other longer or no?
Did we find each other on Clubhouse or Instagram? I feel it was
No,
Instagram.
it was Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
and then
found-
Jay added us to the Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is
So-
this a pandemic connection?
it was
Okay,
pandemic.
so you two
Mhm.
even connected in the pandemic.
Yep.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
that was a huge time for the online adoptee community.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I met Patrick in a Clubhouse room. It was like, well, no, I didn't meet you, but I heard you talking in a Clubhouse room amongst like 50 to 70 other Asians.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
In,
Oh yeah.
in an
'cause that was
Asian
a really
American
big
room.
right? That was a big room.
Well,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to remember because I felt like I first heard you in a Clubhouse room or a club room, another Asian American one, and you talked about
Yeah.
being an adoptee. You and Matt Delator were the
Yeah.
2 people
Ah.
who said, "Oh, I'm adopted."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Me too. I'm also adopted." I'm like, "What is this? What does
That's
this mean?"
interesting.
Yeah. So I knew of you prior to Clubhouse, but I didn't know who you were. Like we had not had like a formal introduction.
Okay.
And then in Clubhouse, that's when I heard you talking in a room, and I was like, yes. And then I don't remember how we actually
I don't know. Me, you,
Matt.
Jess Morey,
right.
Michaela Guessford,
Yes.
and Ailey Steele
Yes.
all ended up in a room. And then the 6th person, Charlotte Carbone, ended up in there later. And
Who
that's
did
how
our
the Asian
logo.
Adoptee Clubhouse formed.
Charlotte did our logo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Charlotte is amazing.
Yeah.
I
Charlotte
love her.
Yeah, she's
does
great.
everything.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Okay, so then so that's how we kind of got going. And the Asian part of it, like we got to lean into the Asian part of it. But for you guys, or for you two, like what was the draw? What was the connection?
So we were part of similar. It was just all via Instagram
Asian?
though. No, yes.
You're
Yeah.
you're a horrible human being.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. For those that don't know, I'm super white.
We didn't say, and there are no cameras, so.
It's very true. No, so I met Katie. Did I meet you through Jay, or did we figure out that we knew Jay?
I don't know. I
Later
was
on.
actually excited that you had an answer for this because I can't remember anything.
Because it was you, me.
I don't know how we even met.
It was you, me, Lauren, Mackenzie, and Callie, and we were all in a chat group on Instagram. We would just kind of like chat, and I think we might have come on each other's lives a couple times.
Yeah, I don't know how that formed.
Yeah.
I think it had been formed before, for sure, me. And I just kind of
You got added to it.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
added to it. And then it was just kind of like, oh, you find your people.
And it was just like a DM group on Instagram.
Sure.
And then
Yeah.
Katie and I just figured out that it's funny, like I don't feel like meeting us you would know that we have a lot in common because we are very different in some ways, but like just internal experience, like emotional experiences and like how we process things, I think we're very similar in a lot of ways.
we're the same.
Yeah.
We're the same.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like from my perspective, when I think about it, I feel like I only have known you two to be fairly close.
Yeah.
And like operating in a similar space.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to start there because last year, just in my general life, it was the year of community. And it was about here in Indianapolis, just forming, meeting people, figuring out what my place is in this space. Because for the past 4 years, I've been doing that virtually with y'all, building community. And as we step into 2026, it feels like that's more important than ever because everything is terrible and I hate it.
Same.
So but to think about how terrible it is, but to be able to then sit here with two people that I had an opportunity to build community with prior to ever like stepping into an activist or advocate role or whatever that looks like, feels full circle in a way, but also like a continuation of what we started when we first connected. And so for both of you now in 2026, what does community mean, or what are you seeking from community this year?
Both of you looked at me. That was
planned
very
it.
uncomfortable.
And
Okay.
Katie.
All right. No, this is good. This is good. I have been on this search for really quality friendship. Like the kind of friendship where you don't have to explain in depth your whole freaking story and your whole context of who you are. It's easy. It's just non-exhausting. And that's what I'm looking for. And in November, I joined this app called Time Left, and it exists in Louisville and a lot of big cities across the nation. And basically, they you might have been spammed on Instagram, honestly, with their ads because they're very aggressive. But they set up these local dinners at multiple restaurants during the week, and they organize for you to have dinner with 5 other strangers.
Oh,
Interesting.
cool.
Yeah, and it's solely a friendship-based app.
I love that.
Yeah, it's so fun. So every Wednesday, I get a notification that I've been assigned to a restaurant. I've been assigned to, a group, and then I go, and the table's already ready for me, and then I just wait for my people to come.
That's so cool.
And then you get to meet these people from all walks of life. I mean, we've had pilots, we've had, business people, we've had like tons of different kinds of people.
I thought you were about to say pirate. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I want to go now.
Should you wear an iPad?
I
Yeah.
need more
Yeah.
pirates in my life.
We know what kind of marketing we need to do here at this company.
I'm sure I'll see it on my phone when I open it.
Yeah.
So I started doing that because I'm so introverted, and
Sure.
and also like the dating piece of it is like I don't leave my house
Yeah.
for a lot of reasons. And so this forces me to go out and push myself
Yeah.
and stretch myself. And even though it's uncomfortable, I want to find my community, because I used to be a part of like the church community. I used to be a part of like so many different communities where you get the support, you get the people, like-minded people. And then when you get older and life shifts, it gets really challenging,
Yeah.
especially when you leave communities.
Oh, for sure.
So that's kind of where I've been, is like, I want to find these unlikely friendships with people. And I actually have. It's been really fun. Like I've found like a group of friends that I have now that, we have a group text and we just do things. And
Nice.
yeah, and it's super fun and easy, and we ask each other deep questions, and it feels like refreshing
Yeah.
and rejuvenating, and I always feel energized.
How many have you been able to go to so far?
I think
How long have you been on the app?
I think I started going in November, like early November.
Okay, so not super.
No, not very long. Or
Well, it
maybe
clearly worked.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You said group of friends, not even just like I found 2 people
Right.
to hang out with. You.
And I haven't had dinner with half of them. Like we met at they always have an after party too, where everyone that went to the dinners, even if you didn't go to the dinner, you can meet up after at a bar basically and just like hang out. And so that's where I met this group of people, and that's my group of friends. It's been so fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it because I'm thinking about like all of my like true community building I did was online for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I went so like full force into local Indianapolis stuff was it just felt like I needed to have something that was tangible on the ground that I could actually step into without having to pay an arm and a leg to get there for travel and stuff. And to hear that like those two things have kind of meshed in your world where it's like, okay, I'll hop on an app like, cause who wants to hop on another app?
Yeah.
But the app actually produced something not just tangible, but like impact, like deeply impactful.
Yeah. It's been so fun. And again, like as an introvert, like it is really hard to push yourself to do something new and meet people and like have to introduce yourself and go into like the deep depths of your life.
Well, when you were talking about that, I'm thinking about like just as adoptees in general, it feels like we always have to do that. Like once you're aware of your story and like the stuff, it feels like, well, I got a caveat, I got a context, I gotta like do all these other things. And I've thought about that a lot lately too. It's just like I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
If I don't have to,
yeah.
if I don't have to like over explain, like I don't want to not only burden myself with it, but burden other people too. Sometimes. Like, did I just bring the party down?
Every time.
Yes.
Every time.
I think about that a lot. And honestly, I've stopped. There are specific situations where I have just stopped telling my adoption story. Completely.
Yep.
Like, unless it really comes up, like, you know, did your parents move from Korea to Louisville? Okay. Like, it has to be a very directive question for me to have to explain it, which warrants that.
Totally.
But otherwise, I just say, you know, I grew up in Louisville. I moved here. And a lot of people just don't question it.
Right,
and
because they're kind of all meeting everybody with the same, like, no expectation of, like, an overshare or, like, the deep thing, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I love that.
That was something that I noticed, like, during the pandemic that I think it was such a double-edged sword. Like, because the adoptee community, a lot of us found each other at that time. Yeah. The Instagram was popping off. Clubhouse was popping off. I mean, and I think there was this like heightened sort of emotionality behind, because we're adoptees and we have a lot behind our stories and we're sharing them with each other. So I feel like that is a huge theme for me this year too, is just like, and honestly, since I hit 40, honestly.
Sure.
Because I'm like, I don't feel like people need to know everything. And it is complicated and it is like heavy and and especially like we're still fighting against that old narrative.
Totally.
And it's exhausting. I mean, we think about any kind of activism work. You're always told to protect your energy, right? And I think that's a huge part of it.
Well, and that's the thing, too. As you build relationships with these groups of friends, like, eventually your story is probably going to come out. Or somebody's going to be, like, curious, just in a genuinely curious way.
Yes.
And you're going to share it, and it's probably going to hit in totally different ways than you've ever shared before.
Yes.
Yeah. What are you seeking from community in 2026?
Yeah, I mean, I think just like kind of going off the COVID thing, I've first of all, like just being like with other adoptees still is so meaningful to me because I haven't gotten to do that much of it.
Sure.
Because again, I found everybody during COVID and then I had a baby during COVID. So it does
if I wasn't outside already, I'm not coming out.
Yeah, that's right. The little damper on your travel plans there. But so it's really meaningful to me to like get to be with people in person still. And like, I do think about that a lot, that like we spent so much time inside, you know, and like now we're kind of we all crave like being together, I think, in general. And then you add the element of what's happening in our country and in the world at large. And it's just very like loaded.
Sure.
So as far as like I feel like I have a core group of adoptees that I'm still mostly talking to on Instagram, and Katie and I have our podcast where we're sporadically doing that.
It exists.
It's
coming back.
I was wondering what you were going to say about it. still floating out there.
It's still a thing.
It's still there.
Yeah. So I think it's like, I don't think there's any way around sometimes as an adoptee, like segmenting parts of yourself sometimes.
Sure.
You know, like especially when there's a specific piece of your identity that you seek community through, like being adopted.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that because it feels like a safe space, you know?
Totally.
And that's what I prioritize, I think, with that part of my identity is that safe space with other adoptees because it's still really messy out there and we're making headway, I think, you know, with stuff, but it's still hard. As far as like the rest of community, I think just like what you said, Patrick, like having a local in-person community has been so important to me and specifically centered around sharing values with other people.
Sure.
And so I found a mutual aid group that I've been involved with and they do all sorts of different projects in the community. So I feel it's such a great way to make friends because in this day and age, you guys know, like if you walk into a room and you don't know people, you're scanning like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Are there any red hats in here? Are that, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay. It automatically takes that away.
Yeah.
Usually. And you can just start. It's very similar, honestly, to making friends with adoptees because you just feel like you already have this like baseline values understanding that you're sharing with everyone, and people are actively engaged in the community. Many of them grew up there, so they know the town really well and can teach you things about it, and you can build new things that are tangible together, which is a really great way to like make meaningful relationships. And then, you know, just for my kiddo too, like knowing our community better and like who's in our group, you know, like who do I want the influences of my kid to be?
Totally.
You know?
Well, and I think you bring up like what's happening in the world. One of the things or like pieces of discourse that I've seen floating around is like if you don't have those people in like your neighborhood that you can call when the shit goes down, like now is the time to find them.
Yeah.
Because and like I'm not really ever thought about that because I always just like default I'll find a way to be here to protect my kid or my family or my interests, whatever the case might be. And then just like seeing, you know, federal agents just randomly shoot people in the street is like, oh, well, maybe that's not like that could happen to you at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And if that happens, like who's going to show up for your family?
Yep.
You know, because now you can't. You don't have the opportunity to.
And I think like also being that person for other people.
100%.
Right? Like, and that, I think that's something that people forget about. Like, it's meaningful for other people to be there for you too.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's hard, I think, for a lot of us to accept because we feel like we're being a burden or like it's some kind of mental load that we're adding to. But that is not a thing really in community. Yeah. Once you really have it, I feel like you don't worry about that. It takes the pressure off, right?
Yeah.
Like you're just have each other's backs and like, I mean, I think there's a reason they call it like mutual aid, right? Like
totally.
So
well, because it's like you show up in support without the you show up in support without the expectation that anybody will ever show up to support you.
Right.
But like that's the whole point is like it's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about, oh, this person is in need. Well, how can I use whatever privilege or opportunity I have to help that person? And you're right. I don't think that we really think about it that way because I think humans in general are kind of isolationary creatures to a certain degree. And obviously we're social as well, and we need to find that sociality. But in the society we live in, we are constantly segmented and pushed to the sides a little bit in order to like keep us in a box and feel like I'm a burden. It's like, oh, I am a burden. Oh, I don't want to bother that person. I'm the problem.
Yeah.
Or at least that's how it's like felt for me for a long time. It's like I'm always trying to justify why somebody isn't helping me because I did something wrong.
yeah.
You know, and then in the same token, it's like how have I been showing up for other people, and is that playing into what's happening?
I also feel like the age we're in right now with what's happening, where people are hearing that message, right? Like, oh, we need to build community.
Yeah.
It's also coming at a time when we're very aware of like the harm that social media has done to a lot of people and is doing to especially like young people. And I really feel like this is sort of like a renaissance for us a little bit of like figuring out how to like be together again in a really meaningful way. and putting our phones down, right? And
Yeah.
like actually having a conversation.
Yeah.
You know?
Like this.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm just kidding.
Patrick just checked his phone.
So on blast, edited out. You mentioned like as adoptees specifically, we can like segment, which I liked that because I'd not really thought about it before. And then I thought about how sometimes we like compartmentalize that part of our story, identity, community, and keep it over here. I found like, not that it's been difficult to integrate those things, but it's like, I don't know, they do still seem like, oh, I do adoptee stuff, and then I do other stuff.
Yep.
And my other stuff is literally everything else but adoption-related things, which is like, well, why is this still over here? I don't know, do you feel like it's like that? Like
yes.
And do you want to keep them separate, or is it like, either of you can answer this, but like, is it a desire to keep it like, I want to keep this part of me over here, or is it, I don't know.
I think we are conditioned as adoptees to feel like the adoption part that maybe you might struggle with is too much.
Mm.
And therefore, you keep it to the side for safe people.
Yeah.
You know,
That's interesting.
For safekeeping with specific people. I mean, at least that is, I've never really thought about it, but I think that's probably why I do that.
Because the adoption, just all of it is so heavy, and we've been told that it's so heavy that obviously you won't be able to do all of it. So like, or like we talked about before, sometimes when I tell my story, it's like, oops, did I just bring did I just put an unnecessary weight on everyone?
Right.
And now you have to do a vibe check on how people took it.
Oh yeah, I'm like, oh man, my Uber's here. It's like,
Yeah.
I just got here.
Yeah.
I think I tell a lot of my struggle. I share a lot of my struggles openly about like a lot of different circumstances. But I think the ultimate there's like this ultimate struggle, and it is always related to adoption that I don't always talk about.
Sure.
Right. And even though I've done a lot of work on it and I've shared it before, you know, when I struggle immensely in my life, it almost always is directly related to being adopted,
Yep.
whether it is a part of it or not. Like having hand surgery, and not being able to like take care of myself is not like, you know, you wouldn't point to adoption.
Sure.
However, like the struggle of asking for help and the struggle for like feeling like I'm not enough could be directly linked. And if I like really broke it down, to relinquishment and to adoption. And so like it's always an undertone that I don't feel like I always have to talk about, but I am wildly aware of.
Yeah, totally relate to that. 100%. I think for me, what I found is like, if I try to go in all adoption all the time, like that's too much.
Right.
It's too much for me.
Sure.
You know, like I think a lot of us did that in the community. We were like,
that was what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not even Asian anymore. I'm adopted.
Yeah. So like that. And I mean, it does affect you if you're focusing on something that's inherently traumatic all the time. That does affect you. But I think the other thing that I think about too is like, I mean, I know I don't really buy into like the whole partisan politics. I mean, it's a mess, right? Like the whole thing is a mess. But with adoption, it's a very tricky subject to bring up in a group of people that you don't know, because
100%.
The people on the right, quote unquote, are 100% pro, maybe on like sort of the Christian undertones of like the saviorism and things like that. And the people on the left are like, oh, you should be adopting instead of having your own kids. And it's so, I mean, there's not really a safe place within the narrative of adoption, regardless of who you're around.
Yeah.
So because of that, I feel like I just always walk in guarded and treat it as a precious part of me that I don't owe anybody else. because that's a wound, right?
Yeah.
For me, is it's like I'm like so much of me is like there's no agency, there's no
Totally.
like that's a big part of my trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me it's like I've been conditioned by other people's crappy behavior or harmful beliefs, and because of that I'm not gonna just like walk around with a like open wound all the time.
Totally. It's hard to like recognize the exterior or external influence and the way that it has manifested in how you as an individual navigate your life. I feel like that's been the piece that I'm really starting to like tear down now is like, all right, what are these things that I even have probably still been making excuses for, even over the last 5 years of doing this identity work, that I'm like, you know what? That is why I am reacting this way, or why I have trouble regulating an emotional response. Like that's why I'm working in therapy right now. Is just like I want to let go of like the anger and the shame and all of this. Like I need to. I wrote about it. I think it's like I'm grasping at it, like for whatever reason. Like I want to hold on to it for some reason, and it's like I don't need that. Even though I'm aware that I don't want to hold on to unrighteous anger, like and just like, and I'm not saying that your emotions are not things that you shouldn't hold on to, but like the stuff that's like deteriorating me internally, I feel like it's so hard to understand that that's happening and then understand what is causing that.
What you said like really kind of reminded me that I think sometimes I struggle with that too, because it's always been a part of my truth. Like that anger and that like all the strong emotions has always been associated with this is how I have felt.
Something
Me
you can
too.
hold on to,
You know,
right?
yeah. And so
100%.
I think like it's hard to let go of those things, those feelings, those big feelings, because you're almost saying like you're moving towards healing, but like are those going to like somehow be like disappear and like my truth will be gone?
Yeah.
Like my experiences
Yeah.
will be wiped away. And I think like that really, I think that's why sometimes I especially hold on to those big feelings and almost like, you know, probably an outsider is like, she's really bitter.
Right.
And but at the same time it's like, but no, this has been the way that I've lived.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily wanting to be bitter,
Right.
but with these experiences.
Yes.
And I need to not just acknowledge them, but almost even honor them.
Yeah, because no one else has.
Yeah,
Right.
No one else has validated
So you got to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you hold on to it way too hard, way too long, and it's actually kind of destroying you on the inside, but it's still part of the truth that you've carried.
That reminds me, I've been thinking about something lately that directly correlates to this because so I think validation is very difficult for adoptees.
Well, what do you mean when you say validation?
So for us to feel validated, I think it's really hard.
Gotcha.
By people, particularly by people who are not adopted. I think one of the reasons that we connect so much is because we're able to validate each other's experiences in like a much more like visceral way than people who have not had those experiences.
Totally.
And so I can like think back in my life, like with therapists I've had and friends I've had and family. And I think they really were like, they believed me, but there was something in me that knew that they didn't understand my experience. So it didn't feel like I was being validated.
100%. Like, what you just said just made me think about, like, I've always talked about being emotional when I was growing up and how my parents never, or like my mom especially, was never like, you don't have to hide that. It's like you just are that way. And so even when I've talked about my story, I've talked about, I've always had these emotions. And like you said, that's always been a part of who I've been. And I think you're right. I've never thought about it like that. But the part of what I'm letting go is letting go of that version of me that I have always felt was me. And maybe to a certain degree, it is me. But is that the version of me that I always want to be?
Right.
Or do I want to be a version that understands that happened and I was that, and now I act and can navigate differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think as we function, the longer we function in this normalized way that we've always lived with, holding on to these things, the harder it is to accept that it's okay to move on. Like, it's okay to heal.
Yeah.
It's okay to move forward, and you don't actually have to forget who that was and your experiences. And like, healing doesn't necessarily mean that it's just like gone.
Right.
It's just, you just learn how to manage better and easier, and like, it just makes it a little bit easier to move forward.
Yeah. It makes me think of parts work, right? Like the internal
Yeah.
family systems
Oh, okay.
where you
Parts
work with
work.
your child self and you work with,
Yep.
every version of yourself. And having a kid, Patrick, like, just when you see things happen, you're kind of there. Like, it takes you there,
Yeah.
And one of the things that's helped me, I think, with my emotions is trying to, when I am stuck in something, I try to picture like baby or very small me feeling that feeling. And, as a parent, like, we got to walk them through it. We
Yeah.
gotta
Or having a big feeling right now.
Yeah, we're in it, and sometimes there's nothing you can do but just ride the wave, right? And like, if I can do that for myself, if I can kind of like show up for myself, it helps because it's like, that part of you that is feeling that feeling didn't have that skill to process that, and sometimes you just gotta, I don't know, parent yourself, I guess, through it,
Yeah.
I asked this question to another one of my guests earlier. I can't remember what episode that was. Shout out to Stretch. I'm going to ask you both. Either one of you can take it. But what makes somebody a good friend?
What is that reaction? Go ahead.
Because you're a good friend.
Be Katie Gagel is what I just got.
That is so nice.
I think you're okay, friend. I'm just kidding.
Am I answering
Whoever wants to take it.
this? Okay. What makes a good friend?
What makes somebody a good friend?
What makes somebody a good friend? Wow. Okay.
Because I think it's all part of the community. And I thought of it actually when you were talking about like the time left and like the dinners and building community in that way, and how you've kind of connected with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to name off some qualities of what makes a good friend, but not a perfect friend.
Okay.
Okay. I think a good friend is someone that can show up for you in the most critical times. Maybe not all the time. I think I'm saying this to give myself grace because I'm terrible at it.
I'm saying it to myself too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no one can, though. No one can be like, no one can show up the way that they portray it on TV shows. Like, somehow these people on TV, they don't even have jobs. It's just like, what are you doing every day?
Right.
No, like, someone in the most critical time can show up and say, what do you need? And Laura and I live across the country from each other. What do you need?
Yeah.
A lot of times I can't do anything for Laura, and she can't do anything for me, except just say, like, I'm so sorry. That is so effing, like, messed up.
Yeah.
And even though there's nothing physical or tangible that she can do, it's just having someone say the things that you need to hear. And I think someone that is thoughtful, someone that goes out of their way to think about you. Like, I saw this random game and took a picture of it and sent it and thought of you. Like, it doesn't have to be huge.
No.
And
Sure.
like, people love to be thought of, period. And I think thoughtfulness is like the undertone key to any relationship, romantic, friendship, anything. I think being honest when it's hard is key. Having someone tell you the really hard truth, like watching a friend date someone that you just think is a terrible idea, but also saying, I'm going to support you in your decision.
Yeah.
That's a friend, someone that tells you the truth and also supports you through your decision because you're a grown-ass woman.
Yeah.
That's right.
I will murder her, but you can continue to date her if you want.
Exactly.
She sucks. I don't like her, but if that's what you like, all right.
100%.
I will shut the fuck up.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I think being a good friend means making efforts to see one another. And that obviously can't always happen, but Laura and I have always tried to see each other.
Yeah. Katie's been to see me twice, once in Dallas, once in Tahoe when I moved.
Hey.
And so
hard places to visit.
Sure.
Just terrible.
Well,
But
it's hard to get there.
I think it means a lot when you can show up physically in a way that is very inconvenient for yourself. I think that means a lot. And then I think also being a good friend means showing up. I don't know why, but this always, I really learned this from my parents. And I know this is like so obscure and very, very specific and nuanced, but I think showing up for your loved ones and friends when someone in their family has passed away.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is just like such a specific scenario, but I've learned it from my parents and my parents have learned it from their parents, and they just show up. And I think like you just don't ever forget who showed up for you.
No, you don't.
In your grief.
Very true.
I think that's like the most meaningful. Anyway, that's a random list, but
it's a good
those
one.
are things that come
It's a
out.
good list.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll make somebody a good friend.
I mean, all of that for sure, Katie. Stealing her answer.
Repeat verbatim what she just said.
Exactly.
Go now.
I mean, I think I said I've used this word a lot since I've known Katie. Safety to me is huge, and it's funny because like if people knew me as a younger person, you would never know that I had a difficult time trusting because I didn't act that way.
Sure.
Because I'm really good at masking.
Hey.
But yeah. So I think like when I don't test people in like a sneaky way, but like when you have these conversations and you or are just in the room with someone and you're like checking the vibe, like all of that stuff matters. And I think to me, I'm making a lot of new friends right now. And I think it's really important for me to build trust that people are able to say like what's going on with them and be vulnerable and honest. Because, you could be having a bad day. And if the person doesn't know, then they might take it personally or they might, And so I just think like communication and just vulnerability are both really important. And I will say like Katie and I don't talk all the time, but I do think we're pretty good about being like, this is how I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that I've
and
noticed.
not like hiding it from each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've noticed a lot of people can't do that. I think it's
I'm
a lot.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Exactly.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that with my own wife sometimes. Like, that's like you're talking about masking. Like, I know that life. Like, that's the life I am most familiar with.
Yep.
Is how do I fake like everything is fine? Like, I know that intimately.
Yep.
I think I could be a pretty good actor because of just how I've navigated life. That's not true. I'd probably be a terrible actor, but I know how to act in public.
Yes.
And that is completely antithetical to who or how I'm probably feeling inside.
Yeah. I'm the opposite. I send Laura 3 paragraphs of how terrible my life is.
Listen, it's mutual, and I think people would read our text and be like, "Are these people okay?
Yeah,
like their
truly.
lives sound terrible." But it's because we're like being real about the struggles.
Yeah.
And I will say, I think that's I think that's the reason why adoptees connect with each other so well, is because when we finally get to the point where we're like, we've identified our adoptee identity as a thing, we're really like picking it apart, deconstructing it, we find each other, then we're like, we're already in that real place.
Yeah.
So we're willing to go there. And so many of us are so tired from masking our whole lives. And we don't, it's a vacation from doing that, But yeah. What about you, Patrick? Do you have anything to add to the friend thing?
I think that basically everything that y'all said.
Wow.
That's why I ask the questions. I don't have answers to them.
Sorry.
That's why I ask them.
I flipped the script on you.
I actually thought that I was like, I should probably have an answer for this. The person I had on the show said something similar to what you said, Katie. Somebody who's going to show up for you no matter what. Yeah. And somebody that you can just be honest with. So one of the guys that I've been working with on one of my other shows for the past 3 years, we just got coffee the other day, and he let me know what was going on in his life. And like, if we had not caught up, he even said, he's like, I probably would not have like texted you that, or nobody would have known. And I was just like, man, I just wish that we felt comfortable enough around people to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And so I think just being able to be honest is the one quality that I would need from somebody to be able to call them a good friend.
Yeah.
The showing up for sure, but also like that's me trying to be accountable to my own not showing up sometimes.
Yeah.
So I can't hold somebody to that standard
Same.
if I am not living to that same standard. But the honesty part of it, the vulnerability part of it, like I don't expect anybody to be as honest or vulnerable as I am. But when somebody feels safe enough to do so, I think that there's something there to that relationship.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what makes it good, or somebody a good friend in that way, is just I can take the mask off.
Yeah.
How do you define community then, as we kind of tie it all back together, taking it from the individual, what's a good friend, to thinking about what you're looking for from community? What would you say community is to you? What definition would you give it right now?
So when I think about it, I think there's a unifying something behind community. There's a common thread there that binds you to those people, whether that be where you live or a piece of your identity, like we've been talking about. And I also think that there's that brings with it a certain level of accountability that you start to feel for one another.
Yeah.
And I think for me, community looks like when you act within that accountability and showing up for that.
What about you? What about you? I said that so like accusatory.
I know. I felt it. Deep in
Walking out again.
Deep in my soul.
God, Katie.
I know.
I've been hitting you in your soul like multiple times today.
We were saying
much.
Patrick gives brother energy.
And I
got that BBE.
And I have panda energy. Okay.
You even said that. Like, what?
Yeah. That was said in a real panda-like fashion, for sure.
You're welcome. Okay. Community. I think that like Laura said, I think there's a common thread. I think there are roles within community. And I love the idea of having a role. Like I've always been a floater. I've always kind of like in friend groups and even in different specific communities, I've always just been that floater. Like people just assign me things and
Sure.
Yep, I can do it. But within community, I think like there's a purpose that you feel that you're a part of, whether it's leadership or it's just, filling in the task that needs to be done, or the connection that you make with people. And then I think connection, like that is one of the biggest parts of being part of a community, is being able to have other people around you and being able to build relationships, whether you're seeking them out or not. Like people, most likely when you're in a community, people are going to approach you,
Sure.
and want to get to know you. And I feel like you have to try really hard not to.
Yeah, I think Katie, you like when I think about what you've brought to the community, like that we're a part of, like both of you, I think like you are always you're the person who's going to take the truth that needs to be said, and you're going to do it. You're going to follow through with that, and you're going to be fully 100% honest and show up. And that has been so inspiring to watch, like as your friend and as an adoptee, of just like your Dear Mom series where you're talking about that. Like it's just that like deep vulnerability and honesty is such an invitation for the rest of us to like go there, you know?
Well, and also like what I really am inspired by and like take inspiration from how you navigate is just like the boundary set.
Yes.
Especially for adoptee community. It's like, here's the door, I'm shutting it, and I'm gonna go over here now.
Yes.
Like, but a lot of people don't do like I
No.
was not like that for until probably this past year. Like I was always, the door was open, like I'm trying to like connect with everybody, overextending myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make me a good community member. It makes me an exhausted individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm also now being a bad community member because I feel like I'm letting down, and maybe like me managing other people's feelings, but like when people are hopping in my DMs or like asking me questions and I feel like I want to respond to that and I don't have the bandwidth, I don't know what don't know how to set the boundary. So I'm like,
Sure.
leave you on red, or like I'll respond with just like, yep. Just like not
Yeah.
giving probably what I could give in that way. And it's because, truth be told, I'm fucking tired.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't have it to
Yeah.
give. And I think again, like we've been talking about this, like so much of our lives has been like taking care of other people's
Totally.
emotions. And I think you have shown up for people in such a big way. What I think I've taken away from that pandemic time is like I kind of have my core group, and I know you do too.
Totally. Yeah.
And like those are the people that I really want to be. Why is that so loud?
It's fine.
Sorry.
We have 10 minutes before the building blows up. and then it
ADHD.
reconstructs.
Yeah, it's fine. No pressure. But it's I think that you have to choose that community,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
what you're saying, you
Totally.
has to be a conscious choice of where you put energy, especially after you have a kid, because
Yeah.
it is exhausting. And like we could all be so strung out trying to do too much. And I think we probably all have done that at some point in our
Well,
life.
part of it like wants to be like please everybody,
Yeah.
be everybody's friend.
Yeah.
Like that's how I always was growing up. Was just like because I needed to be accepted by the people around me. So like I'll be everybody's friend. What do I need to do?
Yeah.
Like, and that's how I felt when I entered the adoptee community. Was like, oh shit, I'm like want to know everybody and be
Yeah.
everybody's friend. And then at a certain point, it's like people take advantage of that, or people then misconstrue what it looks like to just like engage in an online conversation. And I'm not saying that I'm not shirking responsibility or like my part in that. I'm just saying like when I approached it that way, it was not healthy
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah. It's really hard to it's easy to overextend yourself because it's such a because our community there's no central place.
No.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
So like there's no central place for people to go and like look up question answers and like learn more about. It's like people just cherry picking
Yeah.
people that they like and going into DMs and asking questions, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, it is hard for someone who overextends themselves to be able to give
Yeah.
to that person that needs whatever XYZ.
Yeah.
And it's hard for our community because we don't have what
Yeah.
a lot of communities have.
Well, and
Yeah.
so many of us have like waited so long to have this that
Yeah.
there's a lot of eagerness,
Yeah.
right? Like Jay actually, Jay Palmer, has like modeled this for me recently when we were DMing, and she did something that I think we should probably all do, where she was like, I don't have bandwidth for this conversation right now, but I'm
yeah.
going to come back to this as soon as I do, like I'm going to give you a response. And I thought that was so responsible. And I mean, I wasn't insulted by that in any
Sure.
way. It was very like thoughtful of herself.
Totally.
Which was like such a good thing to be reminded. Like, it's okay if you have to say like, I can't do this right now. but I care, and I'll circle back. You know?
Yeah.
I like that a lot. That's
Yeah.
something I'm trying to do is just be like, hey, I can't do it at the moment. That's the boundary, and like, but I will come back to it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Very
and if I
healthy.
don't, please tap me, like, and remind me. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up by bringing up something that you just brought up. We're trying to like dive into it because I'm really interested now. Because I hadn't thought about it, but you brought it up when we were at my house, and now that you said it again, I'm like, okay, my brain's firing. You talked about we don't have a central place, like an online database or whatever, collection of resources. When I first entered community, I was part of a project called CAD Town Square, which was supposed to be that for Korean adoptees. It fell apart wildly because it was totally disorganized, and like lots of people played lots of parts in the disorganization of that, myself included. Since then, I've seen numerous attempts from other people, Rick Allen being one, who has collected things and put it in what a quote unquote a central database. My question is that actually possible for us to do? Because of how, and I asked the question if it's possible because I don't think this is specific to adoptees.
No.
But I do think that adoptees play it up a lot, like our segments, our silos. Like, we're Korean adoptees. I talk about it a lot, but like, I don't know what your experience is, but like, we like to be like, oh, we're the king and queens of the adoptee community. Because we have 200,000 people. I'm like, that, like, well, hold on.
Right.
And so, but it's like that mentality, like, that makes me like hesitant to believe that we could create that. And I understand like the desperate need for us to have something like that because it's not only important for us, it's important for other people that aren't adopted or specifically adoptees to be able to access that and see and share. Or if they have an adoptee in their life, like, hey, there's this thing that you can go to and start here. Is it possible for us to do that, you think?
I think that no, okay. I don't think it can be like a one and done library.
100%.
Here's your membership card when you get adopted.
Right. It's a living resource, a database. And in my brain I see it as like one large organization. I think you and I have talked about this. Yeah, with some umbrellas. No.
We don't like umbrellas. That's the problem.
I know. That is the
we
problem.
We don't like umbrellas. So my thing is like, how do we? Well, then, if we're not going to have an umbrella, how do we make sure that we're always in contact? And then
no, that's the thing. We have to have umbrellas.
But that's what I'm saying.
It must be umbrellas because Korean adoptee resources. I mean, let's be honest. Like each country is going to have a nuance of resources. It's going to have nuance of information, but the collective stories of adoptees does not have to go under umbrellas.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I have benefited so much from knowing adoptees from all different backgrounds.
Same.
Learned so many things. I mean, my entire like deconstruction from like white supremacy and just like really trying to unlearn all these things was because of the connections I've made with Black adoptees, transracial adoptees in general, Korean adoptees. I mean, I was so sheltered, not just within my adoptee identity, of course, but like just whiteness, right? And so unpacking all of that would not have been possible without this community. And I think just like seeing the impact that this has had on different people is so important for all of us.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think about it as like that database is mutual aid. Like, if that living, breathing document is something that we should be able to call on or reach in or like tap into or like share the link for whenever. And it's never going to be exhaustive. It's always going to evolve because there's always going to be different things that happen or occur that maybe needs a thing. And like, so I think like when we talked about it, I think from my perspective is like we have all of these organizations and we see new organizations crop up all the time. Yeah. And I don't have a problem with new organizations. I have a problem with when we don't, like when we're building something that already exists and then when the organization now exists, like we don't talk to other organizations.
Exactly.
And so like I get wanting to have specific things for specific groups. I think that's absolutely necessary. And like if we're not gonna talk to each other,
Right.
like we're actually gonna be more cause more harm through disassociation.
Right.
Because we're like, so say Chinese adoptee comes to an all Korean adoptee space and they're like, oh, this is not really like not specifically for me. Like, where is the Chinese adoptee stuff? If you did that on Facebook, you might end up in a situation where they're like telling you that Chinese adoptees like aren't important for some reason. Like I've
for
seen
sure.
it happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so like I think that's fewer than like they're all. I think that happens less maybe than like the good stuff.
Sure.
However, like that's the stuff that I see a lot.
Yeah.
And it gives me pause because I've seen it happen in organizations.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't really know where I'm going. I'm
No.
like that's my fear. That's the fear.
No,
it's
I-
like we can't talk to each other.
Yeah, I agree. I think the whole point is to communicate with each other. Like we don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
We need collective minds. And I think that's the problem. Like if there was an organization that brought all these organizations together to to share, file share everything that we know, then there would be probably a little bit more community happening
Sure.
outside of these like very siloed, spaces. And I think like I've been a part of a lot of different groups that do incredible work, like support groups and like virtual classes, all this stuff. And if we all just had this one place where it was, go to Adoption Mosaic and be a part of their We the Experts.
Yeah.
And then go be a part of BIPOC adoptees.
Yeah.
And, it's just like if there was a place, I don't even care necessarily about the resources in a very literal sense.
Sure.
It's like if there was just a place where we had all these organizations that were willing to be a part of one main thing where we could all go to and reference, like that would be kind of life-changing, I feel like, to our community.
Yeah.
Like it would be less confusing.
Yeah.
You could do your own research and it be all in one spot. Like I just think that to me it feels not as big as it should be.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like it feels like the barriers should not be like so hard.
Yeah, it feels like we fall into this like hierarchical kind of thing where somebody has to be in, like you guys were saying, like somebody has to be in charge. Somebody has to,
100%.
and that's always where things get messy. So the mutual aid group that I'm a part of, we're specifically choosing not to have any formal leadership. We just take turns running meetings. And it's whoever has the capacity, and you can sign up and do it, or you can do whatever. Because if it's one person running it or whatever, that you only have one person's viewpoints and experiences to draw from.
Well, and just like you said with community, like community has defined roles. And that just because you find yourself in a role doesn't mean that you're not capable of doing another thing. It's that you're probably that your skills or whatever, or even your own interests lie within that role's definition. So let's put you here and let's do that work. And then, we have a thing coming up, but Laura can't be there. So we need you. Are you able to step into this?
Yeah.
Sure. And then we all get a chance to participate in what it looks like to be in a community instead of just, again, you can stay in your role and only do your role. But like, just going there and staying there and never interacting with anything else.
Right.
Like, that's where we lose each other.
Yeah. 100%.
I love you guys.
Love you.
And we could have had a 3-hour conversation.
Literally.
But as we come up on time, let's see. All right. They're fellow podcasters. They mentioned it one time earlier in the episode, but they have a show called Adopting Wellness. Talk about it a little bit. Tell us about it. I know you're coming back from a little bit of a
We're
hiatus,
coming back.
but tell the people.
Yeah. So we talk about our experiences in seeking and building wellness as adoptees and all aspects of our lives. So health, mental health, and we're very open and honest about things that we have been through. And I mean, it's very fitting, I think, that we're talking about community, because I think it's just kind of like a window into Katie and I's friendship in a lot of ways.
Totally.
Which is, I think I've heard from other adoptees, and I'm sure you have too, like, it's really special for adoptees to hear adoptees being friends.
100%.
You know, so.
And we created it because there's a lot of podcasts out there that are sharing adoptee stories, and that is what we need. And we wanted to take it another step further. Like, once we acknowledge like our stories and are comfortable sharing our stories, what does it look like to heal?
Yeah. Doesn't have to just be all stories all the time.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be so heavy all the time, even though that is a huge part of our lived experience. But we wanted to create a space where we're actively looking at, how do we heal? What does that look like? What does wellness look like for us? And what does the struggle look like through trying to heal and trying to be healthy in our whole self?
I love it. When are you guys coming back? Where can we find the podcast? How do we stay in
Probably
touch?
we might try to record something while I'm here in person. So probably, if not this month, next month. And we're gonna shoot for at least once a month. And yeah, we're on all platforms, right?
Probably.
I said that really
I
confidently.
think so.
We're pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore podcasters.
Hardcore.
We're really thinking about doing some more specific series on certain topics, and kind of deep diving into certain aspects of wellness. So that's coming down the pike. We usually start with an update on like how we're doing, just like checking in with each other. But yeah, there's always laughter. So it's not
Always
just
laughter.
Yeah.
This is a good prelude conversation for your comeback, I think.
We never laugh.
No.
I don't know if I've ever seen you laugh.
I know. It's because I frown all
Do
day.
pandas laugh? I don't know.
Do pandas laugh?
I don't know.
They
Do
just
pandas
roll
cry?
around. They just
Pandas go,
roll
"Hi."
around.
Sorry. That's just me making up a kid's book.
Okay, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
is that dad
No,
reference?
It's, do cows sing? Do cows coo? All I know is cows go, moo.
Deep dad reference. Deep dad reference.
Can that please be the intro of this podcast?
The name
it
of
won't
this,
be, but it'll be in there.
That joke.
The name of this episode is Patrick Needs to Get Out More.
Patrick, nah, I'm leaning into the dad jokes.
There you go.
If anything, I'm
Okay,
leaning
great,
in.
great.
Laura Summers, Katie Gagel, thanks so much.
Thanks,
Patrick.
Be safe. Those are two of my day ones right there, for real. Laura, but especially Katie. Like, Katie has been an ear that I have been able to speak into about a lot of stuff in my life. And like, I really, really, really feel lucky to have a friend like her as part of my community. To, yeah, like I don't really know what else to say other than that. Like, it means a lot. I hope you enjoyed the episode. That was one of my favorites that we've recorded so far, and I'm going to be honest, I keep getting better at this podcasting thing. I'm going to keep bragging about it, but I keep getting better. Quickly, I won't probably talk about it in the morning show, but I started a new job today. I am doing some social media coordination. Excited to get back in the swing of structure, to step into a corporate space and to work on stuff that I've really been doing for the last 3 years a lot, and seeing how those skills translate. I think it's going to be fun. We've got some interesting ideas that I'm excited to run by the team, and I just appreciate them giving me the opportunity to do this. So right now, I plan on the morning show to still come out per the regular scheduling. Depending on how this week goes, though, we will see. I will make that decision at a later date, I suppose. But this week, you will continue to see some conversations come out. I think it'll just be me this week, trying to sit down and have some more conversations with some more people about all of the shit that's going on right now. And yeah, there's really not much else to say other than thanks for tuning in and keep your eye on the world right now. And not only that, build community, build your relationships with your neighbors. Community, our in-person interactions are so important right now. And if you've been watching anything that's been going on in Minneapolis, in DC, across the world, in Tehran, like, the time is now to find your people and put 10 toes in the sand about what you stand for. I've been Patrick Armstrong, and until tomorrow.